What's going on, y'all? The NCZ3 here, bringing you another Lords mobile video. And in this video, we're going to go over the best free-to-play and pay-to-play relic subs for infantry units, so stay tuned. Don't be afraid. Alright, y'all, before we get into this, I know a lot of y'all are going to ask, the NCZ3, will you do a setup for cavalry, ranged, mixed, and gathering? Well, you know what? The answer is definitely yes. In fact, those are going to be the next videos that I put out. I also want to make a special shout out to my guild members, Gizmo, Nikki, Fluffy, and King H, for helping me out getting the rest of my special buildings to level 25. Now, let's get into it. I didn't want to break this up into sections of free-to-play and pay-to-play because I didn't want to confuse anybody, so let's go ahead and knock it all out at the same time. We're going to start off with our helmet slot though. The absolute best in slot for free-to-play and pay-to-play is none other than the Berserker Tusk Helm. This is the only helmet that offers a high amount of infantry attack and army defense. All I'm saying, guys, is that there's helmets that come close, but this is literally the absolute best in slot. The materials that it's going to require are minerals. Now, you get that from the rich veins, as you guys can see right here, and the only reason I'm going over each one of these is because, guys, remember, if you're going to build something like a heavy infantry build or a heavy anything build, it requires these special kinds of materials, and to rebuild when other pieces need the same kind of materials, it takes a really long time. But it's also going to require the fur pelts that you get from the fields and, well, logs that you get from, well, woods. I mean, maybe it could have been something else like the mines. I really don't know. But anyways, just remember, keep that in mind, guys, that when you're building your builds, I know, right? Building your builds. It takes a lot of these materials to make a legendary grade piece. So please, guys, if you're going to make a heavy on infantry build like I'm doing, just keep in mind that it does require a large amount of resources. Next up is going to be your chess pieces. Now, let's start off with the free-to-play aspect. Now, this is a tie between Odysseus, Regal Plate Mail, and the Cavalry Mail, and the reason why I say the Cavalry Mail and the Odysseus, or whatever the case may be, is because a lot of players really like them, and there really isn't a free-to-play chess piece that gives any infantry attack, or infantry defense, or any of those stats right there, but there are chess pieces that give army max HP, like the Regal Plate Mail, and army defense like the Odysseus. Now, and in my opinion, the Cavalry Mail should be excluded out of this because, well, it doesn't really offer anything else other than the research bonus that it gives. So, in my opinion, the Regal Plate Mail and the Odysseus are tied, but I think the edge goes to the Regal Plate Mail. So, in my opinion, the absolute best in slot for free-to-play for an infantry build, or pretty much any build, to be honest with you, is going to be the Regal Plate Mail, and the biggest reason is because it gives you a 5% army max HP and a 14% army capacity. Now remember, guys, army capacity and army size are two different things, okay? Army size increases the amount of troops you can have all at one time when you send them out, and army capacity means that the troops, when you go out and send them out to raid a person like their castle, they can hold 14% more loot per troop. Now, that equals out to be quite a bit. Like, I know a lot of players that use, like, these kinds of items when they see, like, a target having, like, 200 mil resources, okay? Like, they'll slap on all their gathering gear, basically, and attack them and steal all the resources really rapidly. And so, if you're going to make the Regal Plate Mail, it's going to require the Copper Quail, which you get from rocks. And now, this is the tricky part, okay? The Platinum that you get from rocks as well, this is the kind of kick in the junk here, okay? The lunar flutes require the platinum as well, so you guys kind of make up your mind on this one, right? I recommend building the lunar flutes first and then coming back to this, right? But next up is going to be the ancient bark that you get from the woods. Let's go ahead and go to the absolute best in slot paid to play for the chess piece. This is going to be the Terror Shield. I'm telling you guys, this is absolutely God mode activated. And that's all I'm going to say, okay? Not only does it give you a 35% infantry attack, it's going to give you 25% infantry max HP and an additional 15% army max HP. And then just to add a little sugar on top, it's going to give you a little bit of research speed of 8%. Now, the kind of negative part about this is that the Terrathorns, right? The Terror Seed, the Terrathorn Seed, is the ultra rare ingredients that you guys get from the Terrathorns. That's the biggest kick in the junk here. But from what I've been able to kind of decipher or do any of those things, the Terror Seeds really aren't that bad. The drop rate is a little bit better than like the Frostwing Hearts in my opinion. But still, it's 9 of the ultra rare ingredients. So you know, I would be happy with a blue version of this chess piece. It gives great stats at blue, or even like an epic version. But to get the legendary grade, absolutely insanity, okay? And the Terror Vines you get from Terror Thorns as well, and then the Terror Teeth you're going to get from the Terror Thorns as well. So all I'm saying here, guys, is that this is for the primo top player, like that, literally, like that less than 1% player can get the legendary grade of the Terror Shield. At least for now. I mean, maybe in about a year or two, more people will have it, you know. But anyways, let's move on to our boots. Now, this is the tricky part, okay? No boots give any infantry attack, so you kind of got to base it off of the other stats that it gives. Now, and in my opinion, the absolute best in slot boots, or for pretty much anything, for pay to play or for free to play or any of that stuff, okay, is tied with the Winter Stompers. Okay, this is going to give you 7% of cavalry attack, 25% range defense, but the 13% army defense it's going to give you is more than the 10% that the durable boots are going to give to you, okay? So in my opinion, the Winter Stompers are the absolute best in slot for free-to-play and pay-to-play for pretty much any kind of build for the most part. I mean, unless you're doing like a heavy something or the other build, like, I don't know, guys. That's all I'm saying here. In my opinion, the Winter Stompers are the best in slot, and that beats the durable boots because the cavalry attack of 4.5% and the ranged attack of 4.5% that the durable boots actually give right here, it's kind of comparable to the 7% that the cavalry attack gives you. But anyways, guys, all I'm saying here is I'm keeping it strictly to the infantry build. When I get into when I get into the mixed builds, it'll be a lot different. So let's move on to our main hand. The absolute best free-to-play main hand weapon for an infantry build is actually going to be your Venom Stinger. It's going to give you 10% infantry attack. There's no other main hand that's going to give you this much attack for your infantry units. The closest one up is actually going to be your Septic Spikes, and I would recommend making this if you guys are building like a frontline breaker build, but let's keep it to infantry, okay? You're going to need minerals, which you get from rich veins. You're going to need logs, which you get from woods, and the vines, which you get from fields, okay? So you're going to be doing a whole lot of farming from the rich veins, the woods, and the rocks if you guys are going to go for this infantry build, alright? And again, remember, the Venom Sting is actually best in slot for free to play. Now, the absolute best pay to play weapon for infantry is actually going to be the Terror Lash, and it's going to give you 27.5% infantry attack, 10% infantry defense, 20 freaking percent, guys. 20% of army capacity. Like, that is absolutely amazing. When you're going to raid people, that is, I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of benefit in having a whole lot of army capacity. Now, the construction speed of 10% is just a big boost. Let's move on to our offhand here. Our absolute best in slot for your offhand for free to play is actually going to be a tie between your Frostwing Shield, which is 12.5% army defense, 8.5% army max HP, and the wall defense, well, it's negligible. It's like Marge Simpson, right? You can't pass up a deal, and well, all I'm saying here is it would go down faster than Marge Simpson on a dildo sell for $2 a piece. That's all I'm gonna say, guys, because she can't pass up a sell. If you guys watch The Simpsons, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And all of these ingredients are 100% free to play, okay? Frostwing Scales and the Frostwing Horns, they drop like candy, guys. That's all I'm going to say here. Get your monster hunting up, join an active guild, and you'll get them, okay? Next up is going to be the Crusader Shield. Now, this one, in my opinion, has the slight edge because it does offer infantry it does offer infantry attack of 4.5%, okay? So, in my opinion, it does have the edge, but again, it's going to need a lot of minerals, which you get from the rich veins. It's going to need the copper quail, which you get from the rocks, and then vines that you get from the fields. So I'm telling you guys, rocks, rich veins, fields, and some woods. That's basically all you're going to be farming to get these special ingredients. And so the absolute best pay-to-play offhand in the game, point blank, for literally every single build is actually the Winter Mitts, okay? This is literally, guys, the see-all, end-all, best in slot, literally for everything that can actually use it. For every single build you're going to build that's an offensive or even a defensive build, this is the best in slot, okay? It's going to give you 10% ranged attack, which is, it's whatever, right? The 32.5% infantry defense, oh my god, guys, like, wow, like, it is absolutely amazing. It's amazing! Right? And then the army defense of 25% and then the army max HP of 25% is absolutely astonishing, guys. I've only got a blue grade, okay? I've only got a blue grade because they require 4 of the ultra rare ingredients, guys. And so, you know, if I had a gold set of these, I'd be pretty baller status, but I don't. But let's go ahead and move on to our accessories, okay? The absolute best free-to-play accessories for your infantry build is going to be none other than the Lost Island Relics. 6% infantry attack, 2.5% army max HP. Absolute best in slot, guys. But again, it's going to require these minerals, which is from the rich veins. Now, here's the kick in the teeth, okay? A lot of the items require platinum, and in my opinion, platinum is the ultra rare ingredient for, or at least it's more rare for me anyways. It's like the rare ingredients for the free-to-play ingredients, the free-to-play ingredients that you can get. And you get that by farming the rocks. And so I pretty much spent an entire week just to get one legendary grade platinum. And so lunar flutes and a couple of the other pieces of armor, or the relics I mean, require the platinum. And I recommend getting your lunar flutes to gold first, guys. 100%. Always get those to gold first and then get these kinds of items, okay? But then you're going to need the vines you get from field. So the absolute best paid to play relics for infantry is none other than the Terror Vials. And I cannot wait for this set to come back, guys. I literally can't, because the Terror Vials are absolutely baller status. They are 1 for 1, okay? You need one ultra rare ingredient, which is the Terrorthorn seed. You need one of those for every single combination. And I don't think it's too bad, because it's going to give you 16% infantry attack, 5% infantry HP, and an 8% army defense buff, man. The ore production rate, that's super negligible, man. But all I'm saying here, guys, is the Terror Vials are absolute baller status, and I will 100% be gunning for at least 3 epics. I would love to get 3 gold ones, but that really depends on the drop rate that I get for these legendary grade seeds, because, well, I haven't gotten a single one. I've gotten several of these ones right here, like the like from the blue grade down below when I bought into the event. I didn't get any of the epic grade or legendary grade seeds, so you know, it's kind of a toss-up, guys. But anyways, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, then hit that like button and don't forget to tell a friend. The next videos I'll be putting out are going to be about relics, and if you're new to my channel and want to be notified when I upload videos, then hit that subscribe button. But if you're already a subscriber, all I'm going to say here is thank you so much for your continued support. It really does mean the world to me, and that's what gives me the drive to continue to make this kind of viewing content for y'all. But y'all know what I'm talking about, though. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe, but above all, stay classy.